Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing Somei Yoshino from Berdoues. This is part of their Grand Crus line. And this is a beautiful floral springtime cherry blossom fragrance. And I want to review it for you guys. So let's get into the video. Now, I bought this. So this wasn't sent to me to review. And back in 2017, I actually tried this fragrance as part of a blind sniff. I really loved it. I think the only critique I had of this was that it didn't feel cohesive as part of the discovery set. All the other fragrances smelled more shared, were kind of more aromatic and woody and a little bit different. This felt more floral and fresh. Now I'm gonna say something and it's gonna make it sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, and if you're familiar with my channel, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hi. And when I was reviewing this, I remember thinking to myself, there's no cherry blossom note listed. In fact, Berdoues really only mentions on their website and every place else that there's Japanese Shiso, there is Jasmine Sambac, and then there is Patchouli. And Shiso is an herbal, it's kind of like a leaf, like an herb. That's why I said herbal. I would describe it, it's in the West, if you're unfamiliar with it, it is almost like a little chameleon. It can smell minty, it can smell like cilantro, it can smell like basil, more Thai basil and less kind of like Italian basil like in spaghetti. And it can also smell a little bit peppery, but not peppery like black pepper, more like a Sichuan pepper, or, and I know I said that wrong, or like a pink pepper. It kind of has more of a deep peppery, fruity, vegetal feeling rather than something that smells a little bit more kind of biting like black pepper can, which is a little bit more oily. And I really like that. The reason why I'm saying this is described to be inspired by the Yoshino cherry blossom tree, kind of like as an ode to that beautiful tree. And the only place I've seen mention of a cherry blossom note is Scentbird. So I don't know if there's a cherry blossom note or a chord, but I'm gonna say that I really don't think it matters, because when I think about a cherry blossom fragrance, I don't so much think of what a sakura blossom or cherry blossom smells like. I want something that evokes springtime. I want something that's aromatic and light, but also has something special about it that just doesn't feel like a watery floral. And sometimes people use cherry, sometimes people will add fruits for a bit of flirty femininity. Sometimes people will really kind of focus on some watery, musky, sparkly florals. And I love all of those. What I love about this isn't really so much like the florals, it's the Shiso, and it's fantastic. When I first wore this, I was trying 6 other fragrances on my skin, so I had a lot of scents going on. And over the years, I've had samples of this and a decant of this. I think I got it in one of my sunbirds one time, and I just fell in love with this fragrance, and that's why I wanted to review it for you guys. So I don't view this as the most beautiful cherry blossom fragrance ever created, but I think it is, for the price point, one of the best interpretations of what I would expect a cherry blossom fragrance to be, done in a slightly more unique, shared way. Again, really focusing on the patchouli, but most specifically the Shiso. Now this does smell very floral. The jasmine in here is really beautiful. It's very luscious. It's a gorgeous bouquet. And I like the fact that this does smell clean and fresh and very uplifting. There is something about this, if you enjoy semi kind of squeaky clean soapy florals, you're going to enjoy the way that this fragrance smells on your skin. But something that I enjoyed very much about the Grand Crus fragrances the first time I tried them was this shared aromatic kind of cohesion that each of the fragrances had. And the first time I tried this fragrance, it was only on my skin and it was being overrun by ouds and spices and peppers and myrrh. I lost the beauty that this fragrance had, and the more I wore it, the more I realized that this actually was a perfect fit within that discovery set, and it still, in my opinion, is a gorgeous fragrance as part of the line, because the Shiso is something that, in my opinion, if you've tried like a Thai basil, It has like that slight peppery bite to it, like a Sichuan pepper, and I know I'm saying that word wrong. It has like that undertone of fruitiness, almost like a pink pepper. It's not fruity, but it's a very distinct nuance. And what that does is it kind of changes the jasmine and turns it into something more effervescent, more light, less of a white floral and more of an effervescent, like springtime floral composition, something that you would think would be more pink and pretty, but still very substantial and beautiful. And the patchouli in here is nice and green. It's nothing that's crazy overpowering, crazy funky, or in a way that throws off the balance of the florals and the aromatics. I think it comes together in a way that, in my opinion, has been a great testament to this line, which is something that is beautifully minimalistic and almost simplistic, that really focuses on distinct types of notes and feelings to come together to create something really beautiful. And I love this fragrance. It has a pepper like spiciness to it that doesn't feel sharp. It's more herbally. It's a little bit more fruity in the background without being fruity. Like fruity undertones, again, like pink pepper pairs really beautifully with fruits and florals, unlike how black pepper can almost smell sharp and jarring. Pink pepper tends to balance and blend better with those because of the fruitiness. It just kind of smooths out with those compositions better than black peppers, in my honest opinion. And the Shiso in here, I think, is perfectly marrying the patchouli that's giving you this kind of really beautiful, kind of robust, but still very aromatic and light type of feeling that lets the jasmine just smell really beautiful and floral and springtime and special, but it doesn't smell like your everyday type of soapy, clean floral fragrance. There's something about this that's different. There's something about this that's special. There's something about this that piques your interest. There's something about this has a little bit of sexiness to it, but also smells very classic and springtime and flirty. And it's just really beautiful. And over the years I've been wearing this, like I said, the first time I tried this was in 2017, I've just fallen in love with this fragrance. Because whether or not it has, and I still haven't figured it out, and if you know definitively, let me know, it has a sakura blossom or a cherry blossom accord or note in here. I think the way that this was put together is a beautiful inspiration and smells more true to cherry blossom scents than some cherry blossom fragrances out there, see, even some of the higher end ones. And I think that that's fantastic. So if somebody enjoys cherry blossom fragrances, if somebody enjoys these lighter, more clean, fresh fragrances that have these beautiful florals in them, and they're looking for something for spring, but everything is semi-sweet or watery, and those are great. But if you want something that's different and still very special and also affordable for the most part, Somei Yoshino from Bordeaux has been one that I've absolutely loved. And I think this is a gorgeous interpretation, or maybe literal if there's a cherry blossom note in here, of a cherry blossom fragrance. It smells really beautiful, and there's something about it that's very confident, and I just really enjoy, and I've enjoyed for years. And I actually purchased this because this is one of my fragrances that's been on my wish list. Again, you guys know for 2022, my New Year's resolution is to buy fragrances off my must-buy list. This was on my must-buy list because I loved it, and I was gonna buy it this spring. It has made an impact. I think a little bit left of a sample somewhere, and I was like, when spring comes, I'm gonna buy this, and I finally did. So this is a gorgeous fragrance. I do have to be critical of its longevity. It does not have good longevity. I have found over the years that the fragrances from this line don't have fantastic longevity, so I would probably expect, if you're lucky, 4 hours of wear time. So just, let you guys know that. It does have great projection, has fantastic projection. And this is also a fragrance that when you first spray it on your skin, it's going to smell more floral, and it's going to smell more clean and fresh. But the longer you wear it, the Shiso needs a little bit more time to develop. And once it kind of comes out, it's linear and that's when it smells a little bit more shared, a little bit more spicy, but it still kind of has those beautiful florals and patchouli in there. It's definitely worth checking out, and full retail price for this size, you're looking at spending $88. So it isn't super cheap, but it is also not crazy expensive. And I know from other places like Gray Market and places like that, you can find this cheaper too. I think certain sites you can get it for 50 bucks. So full retail price, I don't think it's overpriced, but you can still get it cheaper other places. So I definitely think you can find a great deal on this. At the end of the day, it is another cherry blossom fragrance. It is another light, effervescent, clean smelling floral scent. But the addition of a unique note in here you don't smell very much, that is very distinctive and is very well utilized in this composition, I think takes this to another level without making it smell too challenging or too intimidating, and I think adds to the kind of feel and inspiration of a cherry blossom fragrance, while still at the same time being something that's springtime and feminine and beautiful, but still very distinctive and unique and special. And this is one that I've loved. So that is my review of Somei Yoshino from Berdoues. I still don't know if I say that name right. And this is a house that I love. You can get a lot of their fragrances for $20. I know the Grand Cru are like 88. I have the only bottle I've finished within the last few years was a Berdoues fragrance that I wore to bed. Absolutely gorgeous house. Probably one of the houses I wear the most. I do wear their fragrances a lot and I love them. They're great. So if you've had the opportunity to try this fragrance, I'd love to know what you guys think, positive or negative. I'd love to know other fragrances that you guys enjoy that have the cherry blossom note. I've been debating if in the future I want to try and track down or invest in the Guerlain Sakura fragrance or the one from Dior. Let me know your thoughts on those. And the House of Berdoues, what other fragrances do you guys love from this house? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.